Today is a special show. I'm bringing back Will Clemente on the show because he has an announcement that he made. I saw on Twitter, and he and I have become good friends. And I got 4 kids, Will, all right? And what you're doing right now, he dropped out of college, at least for now, probably for good, right? Because he had an opportunity come along, and he wants to focus on the opportunity. And as a parent of 4 kids, I was like, devastated because I'm still in this like legacy fiat mindset of you need a college education, and it's like, bro, you're probably going to make tens of millions of dollars in your career. We clearly see the path you're on. You know what I mean? Do you really need an education? And so like today's show is to talk about Will's decision. It's probably going to be a short episode, 5, 10, 15 minutes. And Will, I want you to just walk me through your thinking, how it's going with your parents right now, and what precipitated you to drop out of college. When you tell everybody the opportunity you took on, and what your decision was, if you don't mind.
Yeah, sure, man. Thanks for having me on, first of all. And by the way, I hope you're feeling better.
Thank you, man. And by the way, this is the first time I've recorded, even though I've released recordings while I've been sick. I'm literally in pain right now. It's all good, but I'm much better. But I appreciate it because you've been texting me the whole time.
I'm glad you're feeling a little better. So yeah, it was about a year ago. It was actually mid-August that I got on Twitter, and I fell down the Bitcoin rabbit hole, started posting stuff. At first I was just interested in Bitcoin in terms of like its role in the financial system, wrote a couple articles, Preston retweeted it. Preston kind of like put me on, if you will. After that, kind of fell into the whole, fell in love with all the data aspect of Bitcoin, started posting a bunch of that stuff. And then that kind of took off. And from there, it's kind of all taken a life of its own. And like, sometimes I have to kind of sit back and like be like, holy cow, like this is where it is at this point. And it is really surreal, man. Like it's literally been in like 6 months. I mean, I had 5,000 followers in January, and here we are in the beginning of
200 what? How much is it? To what?
It's like 215, I think, or 216.
Unbelievable. Every time I talk to you, it jumps up like 20,000 more or 50,000 more. It's just insane.
I don't understand how there's that many people. Like where, like
I love it.
I didn't know there's like a big
bro. You're going to be surpassing Pomp someday. Pomp, he's coming for you, bro.
Yeah, don't tell him that. He won't let me on the show anymore. No, I'm kidding.
But it's all good. It's all good.
So like, over the last 2 months, I got a couple offers and more serious offers, and I ended up really finding a liking for the people over at Blockware. Really like what they're all about, and so I took a position there as my title is lead insights analyst. Sounds pretty fancy, right? But yeah, I'm basically doing everything I was doing and just watching the charts all day. And now we just launched Blockware Intelligence, so putting out the newsletter that I already had been doing in combination with we're now launching a podcast, and then also we're doing YouTube videos over the newsletter. So like I just basically am doing like a walkthrough, recording of the newsletter and all the content in there. So yeah, that's what I've been working on. And
well, the thing is, right, and this is why I brought you on. When you had the offer, you sent me the offer to help you, counsel you in any way I could, advising. I'm sure Pomp did the same, and others that you're friends with, right? So, and there was never in this offer that I saw as a contingency to take it that you had to leave school. Never, right? And at the time, I remember you saying, Jay, I don't really spend a lot of time doing this because you got so good at it. I could easily juggle this in school. Something made you say, I want to go all in on this and just focus on this for Blockwear as well as your own personal brand and building yourself up and everything, and not go back to college. So what was that from the time we last spoke before I went to the hospital a couple of weeks ago that you decided, fuck it, I'm all in? Like something clicked, right? And by the way, you got to tell us how your parents felt about this.
Yeah, so I guess we could start with my parents. Yeah, they're not super stoked. Obviously, they want me to get a degree, and like my dad has MBA, and he's like very big on me finishing that, and he thinks that's really important because he's been in part of corporate America his whole life. He works at Lenovo, the computer company. So
sure,
yeah, like that's huge for him, and my mom as well. But
what does he do there, by the way? What does he do at Lenovo?
I don't know. His title is like something director of global operations. I don't know.
He's like a manager of some sort. Okay, I got you.
Yeah. But they were kind of upset. But I think like at some point you kind of have to think about you can't please everybody, and you have to really make a decision for yourself. And like, I don't know, I think some big decisions you kind of have to make with your intuition. And like, my intuition has been telling me to just go all in on this. Especially after, and this was you're asking like, what was like the thing that made me kind of switch. Last week
Mhm.
we started school, and it was just like, even in just the week and a half, it's just like I'm doing this stuff. I'm not specifically like writing the newsletter all day, but I'm researching, I'm on Twitter, I'm talking to people
Yeah,
like
it's
pretty much
nonstop,
all day.
nonstop.
Yeah,
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 yeah.
for sure. Um,
Networking, of
yeah,
course.
exactly. And so I'd be doing that, and then all of a sudden, even in the just first week of school, I'm like, oh yeah, like this, it's just getting in the way, right? Like I was
Yeah,
taking
and the
one,
kids at school probably just want to hang out and drink beers or something, and you're like, dude, like,
yeah,
you're not focused on what I'm focused on. Like, you don't even
no,
connect on that
no, yeah,
level at
for
that
sure.
point.
Like
Yeah.
I haven't been to a single party the whole year yet, to be quite frank. And like like last night, all my buddies were out because like ECU played App State, and it's like a big deal, and everyone was out at the football game, and I was up till 3 a.m. writing my newsletter. So it's like it's just like it's hard, to be honest, now to like find as many friends here at school, just because everyone is just caught up in enjoying college, which is great. Like I understand, like there's trade-offs to everything, right? Like I'm giving up my social
Yes.
life, which everybody
Yep.
else is enjoying and
I
having.
did that in my 20s, brother. I gave up all of my social life in my 20s. I get it.
Yeah, and like you're like me. I think like you find something and you just become completely obsessed with it, right? And so
Yeah.
like I'm very similar in terms of like I find something, I go completely like down the
Deep.
rabbit hole and just want to understand everything about it. And so that's kind of how I feel about Bitcoin. And it's just like with that in tandem with some of what I've been hearing anecdotally, and paired with some of the data that I'm looking at, I think we're setting up for a really exciting remainder of the year. And
Yeah,
so
bro.
yeah, I think like we were talking about been a bit busy lately. I think I'm going to be even busier towards the end of the year. So that's why I'm pairing it as I'm just taking a semester off, because at least I think uh, you know
Keep telling yourself
yeah,
that.
at least just for the remainder of the main part of this bull cycle. And
Yeah.
maybe I'll go back to school in the bear market. We'll see.
So I had a decision to make when I was younger. So 26 years old, I think 25, 26 it was. I was running an internet company that was growing, and there was people that wanted to buy it. And I had cash offers for millions of dollars, and then I had a stock offer to sell. And I went back to my parents and I said, I think I'm taking the stock offer. My dad's like, what are you, crazy? Take the cash. And I was just thinking to myself, well, and these are decisions you have to make, right? And these decisions, you're making a decision earlier in your career, in your life right now, that will impact and reflect the rest of your life, actually, right? That's why I wanted to bring you on, because it's a big decision in your life, I think. And so for me, I made a decision to not take the cash. I took the stock deal. Took the stock deal because the guys that were running that company, I thought I could learn a lot from, and I could build my network within them. If I take the cash, they didn't want me in the company. They just like buy the thing and it was done. I sold the previous company, which was a dating site. Done. Cash. They didn't care about me. They wanted the thing. Same thing happened in this one. It was a video sharing site. These guys mostly just wanted to buy my asset. They didn't want me. But the guy that was running the company, Aaron Cohen, and his partner, Lou Kerner, Lou had started .tv, sold it for $100 million. Aaron Cohen started the first social network in 1996. And I'm like, I got to be surrounded by these guys. You learn through osmosis, right? Like, and you're going to learn through osmosis with Blockware, right? You're going to learn from the people in the industry, the people at that company. You're probably going to be teaching most of the people at that company a lot of things, but you're going to learn from them as well on the business side of things and all that. And then you're building a network with people like Pomp and others. And so I actually think it is probably the right decision that you're making. I just am a little conflicted from like this fiat mindset or whatever that we've had over the years, that like, I think part of a college education is not the education, it's the credentials. That's what you're buying. You're buying the paper. You probably don't need that because of what your offer is and what you're going to make out of that, I'm sure, over time, and what your career will do for you, and the opportunities that keep coming. But it's a big decision, and I just wanted to bring you on the show to really fully understand what your decisioning process was to come to it, because last time we talked before I went to the hospital, you're like, hey, yeah, I could do both. And then all of a sudden I saw a tweet and I'm like, bro, and then you texted me and I was like, no, we're going on. We're talking about this. I want to know what the fuck just changed. What's going on, bro?
Yeah.
And I'm really happy for you. I'm genuinely super fucking happy for you that you got this offer. I
Thanks
really
so
am.
much, Jay. And like, a lot of, viewers obviously aren't going to know this, but you really helped me out and kind of helping me think through some of this stuff and just like being there for me. So I really appreciate that,
Yeah.
man. Yeah, like I think you have to think about like the opportunity cost, right? And if I don't, I feel like in my mind, if I don't take this opportunity now, it's, it's like right on a platter, or it's like, it's a slow pitch right down the middle. And it's like, I gotta take I gotta swing, and I mean, that's really what my thought process is at the end of the day. And like you said, working with some of these guys, I think Blockware has a great team. Just learning how to, just business in general, learning the mining business, which I think is, still in pretty early innings, because Bitcoin's still in early innings. And then also,
Yeah.
be like learning how to bootstrap a
Why don't you,
business.
but just be clear, because not everybody knows what Blockware is and what they do. For Blockware's sake and your own, because you're part of the company, why don't you tell people tell us a little bit about Blockware and how they're different as a mining company, so people can understand what they do.
Yeah, sure. So Blockware is, they do a lot of different things with mining. So they're pretty much vertically integrated. So, they do hosting. They actually sell miners, right? And then they also provide consulting, all these different kinds of things around mining. And so, I think they're kind of carving themselves out in terms of, being a big player in the mining scene. I think there's some other names, obviously, like Compass out there in terms of hosting.
Yeah.
But I think where they kind of brought me in is they're trying to pivot to become like kind of a leader in market intelligence as well. Because at the end of the day, like, mining is mining. It's hard to really get a competitive advantage in terms of like the actual operations of your business.
Mm-hmm.
And so like part of it is, making clients feel comfortable with, who they're giving capital to. And so, if Blockware can say, hey, look, we're really knowledgeable about the market, and here's some work that we're putting out, and you can feel reassured that we know what we're doing. I think that can be to an
Thought
extent.
leadership. That's great. Listen, it was a quick episode. I didn't really want to do a whole episode today. Obviously, you're a friend of mine. I consider you a good friend at this point, and I'm really super happy for you. So I just wanted to say congratulations. You just showed me around the new apartment. I think that's fucking cool, man. Like, and what are you? 20? You're 19, right? Is that right?
19. I'll be 20
You
next
graduated
March.
a year. So you graduated high school a year early.
Yeah, I
You skipped a
graduated.
grade.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so whenever I tell people that, they think I like did some like crazy smart stuff. Is dude, I graduated high school with like a 2.9 GPA, but my
You
last year.
hacked it. It's like a life hack year. Like,
Yeah, no, yeah,
yeah.
exactly. I just took an extra online class, so I hadn't taken my language credits, so I took two German classes, and then I just cut my electives out. And part of it was because, to be quite frank, my girlfriend was leaving because she had already been planning on like
She's a year
graduating
older.
early. Yeah, and so I was like, look, if I don't go with her, she's going to ECU. She's gonna leave me in the dust. So I was like, I
Some
gotta.
football player, basketball player is gonna suck her right up. That's it. It's
Yeah,
over.
yeah. So I was like, I gotta low key like follow her along here. So that was
It's
part of the initial reasoning. But yeah, I think like that in itself was one of the best decisions I made, because like, to be honest, I got in a lot of trouble in high school, and like I don't know, I was just like a bad kid in general. But then once I was on my own, and like when I went to school, I didn't know anybody, right? And like
yeah.
I'm generally more introverted, so like, I'm not going out to parties all the time and stuff. So I just really was just focused on like, I kind of was like, okay, what am I actually interested in? Like, I have all this free time now, and I just kind of went down the rabbit hole with business in general. This is before I found Bitcoin, but I just found business in general really interesting, and like kind of picked up some good habits and stuff. And I don't know. I think that was one of the better decisions that I made, in terms of like getting away from the kind of like circle of friends that I was with all the time. Because like, to be quite frank, like some of my friends back at home are still, I don't know how to word this really nicely, but a little bummy, right? And they're still kind of doing the stuff that they were doing in high school. And so
Sure.
like,
It happens everywhere. It's all over the country. Yeah. Not everybody matures at the same rates. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing against them as a knock. They just haven't gotten to where you've gotten to for whatever reason, experiences and insights, intuition, like you said. It could be a lot of reasons why. They may never get there, but, you got to keep moving at your pace. You can't be held back, bro. You're a rising star. Just go.
yeah, thanks. I think like part of it too is like everybody has to realize it internally, right? Like you can tell somebody all day, like, I remember I'd always tell my buddies like, oh, you got to get it together. You got to, get something going here. And it's like, you can tell them that all day, but people have to come to that realization themselves, because like the motivation is not going to come from the outside at the end of the day. And like, you're dragging people along. Eventually they just become dead weight, and you got to just cut the
Yeah.
dead weight off. But I'm still like
Yeah.
friendly with a lot of my
Yeah,
buddies.
you love them all. They're
Yeah,
still your friends. It's just that we're in a different place right now. Like you're in a place that they're probably going to be in 5 to 7, 8 years, maybe, and you just happen to get there quicker because of whatever a little bit serendipitous, going down a rabbit hole, being smart about it, and knowing, focusing on something that a lot of people don't know, right? Like I think you told me Willie Woo is the one that you like went through his course and you learned how to do all this stuff, and then you started putting stuff out. You went to Preston, and Preston tweeted it, and I talked to Preston about that, and he said the same thing. And he's like, I don't know if I helped, but when I met him, he had like 50 fucking followers or something, and all of a sudden he had thousands. And
yeah,
it's like Preston's got the power of the retweet or something, bro.
yeah, for sure. Like part of it too is I think like this field is still so new. Even when you look
Yeah.
like 6 months ago, I mean, like we have stuff that we didn't even have back then, and then you look like 2, 3 years ago. I mean, the stuff looks like you almost laugh at it looking back at it, like some of these like really basic metrics that people were using. But yeah, I can't imagine where the space is going to be in like 5 years, and so
Well, think about it, right? It's $1 trillion asset class, and Wall Street and the U.S. I think is like $40 or $50 trillion. Globally, it's over $100 trillion for stocks, right? There's tons of analysts all over analyzing, but they don't have any. They don't have what you have, the capability of the on-chain analysis. They don't even have that.
it's like
So it's all this
X-ray
TA
vision.
crap, and yeah, exactly. You're literally seeing the movement of the coins and the age of the dress, et cetera. Like there's so much happening that they can't even do this on Wall Street, and people make a career analyzing stocks. And it's like, what's the valuation? Like, you can go through discounted cash flow analysis, et cetera, but like everybody's got a different interpretation of this stuff. And in the interpretation on the on-chain analysis of what you're doing, there are a few people that are becoming experts at that at this point. There's going to be lots of them. Hedge fund managers across the globe are going to want to hire you in the future. Like, you know what I mean? You're probably going to be able to raise your own funds in the future for this kind of stuff. Who knows, bro?
Just
You
wait, just
don't
wait
know
till
where
we
it's
get
going to
like,
lead.
just wait till we get like MIT math PhD. I mean, we're gonna get some crazy stuff, and I think it's
Right,
just
but
like
those
very early
people are going
innings.
to come to you, and you're going to employ those people that are the quant trader site type of people, and stuff. You never know, right?
Yeah,
Like, and I'm not saying that's what it will be. I'm just saying there's all kinds of potential. I'm super happy for you. I will say that when I was in the hospital, I had an epiphany afterwards. And you already saw it. 19 years old, bro. You're so smart, right? Because I'm 42 years old. It took me 42 years to realize that all the successes that I've had in my career, I'm a little choked up. All the success that I've had in my career was because of everybody around me. And you can take the credit for it and say I made the right decisions, I focused on the right things or whatever, but it's the right decisions and choices of the people you're surrounding yourself with. And you're making the right decision to surround yourself with the right people, and that's why I think you're having the success you're having. And so it's on you to make those decisions, and it's on your friends too. If your friends are watching this, they should be making some better decisions like Will, but you're making the right decision in my opinion. It took me a long time to understand that. I had a high school coach used to call it "We Will." We had this like sign, "We Will," and we used to tap it on the way in and out of the locker room. And to this day, I still have that sign. It's in my gym over here in my basement.
that's sick.
And yeah, I have like a "We Will" exactly replica of what my coach had. And when I had my company, I had a T-shirt on the back of the shirts that said Yashi on the front, and the back it said "We Will." It was a mantra I lived by for a long time, but I really never honed in and realized what it really was, brother. And it really is about the people around you. I always assumed if we were just a team and working hard together, yeah, that's true. But you're nothing without that team, right?
Sure.
So don't take the credit, right? Like, you know what I mean? Like along the way, just keep yourself humble. You're super humble. That's what the number one thing I love about you is you're super humble. Keep the humility, have enough of a pride and ego to be able to make the right decisions like you've done. And you're killing it, brother. So I just want to bring you on to just honor you.
Thanks, man. Yeah, like being around guys like I mean, it's crazy just thinking about it. Like without Twitter, I never would be able to get in touch with people. I mean, like not to kiss your ass, but like you're a very successful guy, and being able to get in touch with you guys like Jason, Mike Alfred, who's another guy who's helped me a lot. Preston, all these people. Like it's crazy
Pomp.
that I can. Yeah, Pomp. Yeah, sorry, Pomp. That I
He's
can.
probably done the most for you.
Yeah. You know what it is? It's just like it's just a given in my mind. So
You
that's
say them all the time and shit.
yeah. But yeah, like these people, I would never be able to get access to them, without Twitter. And it's
Yeah.
just like I'm so grateful to be able to do so. And it's like as long as I continue to be the dumbest person in my friend circle, I think I'll probably end up all right because I'm just gonna like soak everything up from you guys.
Keep yourself humble and have gratitude and keep making the right choices. Really simple. And I think you are. One thing I will say, I brought these, I was wearing these, I was talking to Jason outside.
I was going to ask you about those.
So I was late. Yeah. These are called Pit Vipers, okay? You're in the fucking club. Get yourself a pair of Pit Vipers. I want to see some Pit Vipers on your profile, okay, man? Get yourself a pair of these Pit. Look, these are badass Pit Vipers right now. You got to get yourself a pair.
There's like wings on the side?
Yeah, they're so cool. It's like blue blockers. Remember when the old people have them? But they're like this dope as shit, man. Look at this. And by the way, why isn't Pit Viper giving me free fucking Pit Vipers? Why do I got to buy this shit? I keep getting, you know how many people in Clubhouse are wearing Pit Vipers because of me and Jason? You have no fucking idea, bro. It's like hundreds of people are buying these things.
Now, who started
why
the
are our
wave?
sales going up? Your sales are going up because of me and Jason Williams, motherfucker. Give me some free Pit Vipers. Will Clemente is going to start wearing them too, and he's got like 200,000 followers, so cut the shit.
Yeah, Pit Vipers are the new wave. Who started it? Was it Jason?
Jason.
Okay.
Yeah, Jason,
Okay.
for sure. Yeah,
I saw Hollow with him too.
Everybody's wearing them now, right? Because the thing was, Jason was wearing them, right? And then I said, I used to have Oakleys that look very similar to this. They were a little different. They kind of wrapped like this, though, where you have the single lens with, you don't see the break, right? I used to wear Oakleys. I have a boat, jet ski, whatever outside. I always wear them outside. And I liked it because I don't like getting sun hitting you in the eye on the sides. You see this stuff here, right? So my old Oakleys used to wrap like that. I forget the style it was, right? I'm not like whatever. But Jason had a pair on, and we're on a Zoom call, and I was like, what are those? And he's like, oh, they're Pit Vipers. I'm like, they're what? Because I didn't hear what he said. And I type it in. The website looks like 1995 Windows. It's so cool. It's retro. Everything about it's like retro. Randy Macho Man Savage used to wear these when I was a kid in WWF. Different style, but they were like the orange glare. You know what I mean? Yeah. Oh, yeah, right? Like, remember Randy Macho Man, right? So I was like, this is kind of cool. So I bought like 15 pairs or some shit like that. I was like, on the website. They come to my house. I wear different ones to the beach, this, that. Everybody around me that I know locally has been wearing these damn things. So Jason was wearing them. I started wearing them. I put in my profile picture on Clubhouse. I'm on Clubhouse all day, as you know, right? And everybody wasn't saying anything, right? Then one day somebody tried to troll me. They're like, oh, what are you simping, Jason? You're wearing the Pit Vipers? I'm like, bro, I don't care that he wore them first. They're fucking dope as fuck. I like them. You could say I simp them or not. I think it's fucking dope. I'm not simping Jason, but whatever, you know. When I said that, as soon as I say that, like the next day, someone comes like, you know what? I'm buying a pair of Pit Vipers. And then another guy, another girl, a guy. And then before you know it, everybody's fucking wearing Pit Vipers. I'm like, what is happening, bro? I think everybody wanted to wear it, but they were afraid they look like a simp, you know? And I was like, guys, who gives a fuck what anybody thinks? There's two things about me you're going to find out. You can't cancel me, okay, because I'm not cancelable. And I don't give a fuck about what you think. Yeah. So anyway, I know you got to hop. You got a 4 o'clock. Yeah, dude, whatever, right? I got to hop and you got to hop. So I just want to say thank you, good luck, and congratulations. And just wanted to share your story, man.
Thanks, Jay. Have a good weekend, and I hope you continue to feel better, man. See ya.
All right, thank you very much. Take care.